We're gonna jump in the boat here tomorrow and go do a little bit of crappie fishing. My son Sawyer is home from California and he's only here for about 4 days. So Lightning Lance said he would take us out and show us a good time on some crappies in the river. So hang on to your heinies. All right, first one of the morning. Mr.
Nice
California. That's a nice fish. What'd you catch that one on?
That was just a jig and a plastic.
That's it, huh? Lance and I are using live bait. Oh, here we go. Yep. Bunch of crappies stacked up in here. You know, that's the cool part, Lance. I'll tell you what, now these aren't the biggest ones. They're definitely gonna find a school of a little bit bigger ones. But hey, let's talk a little bit about, you know, crappie fishing. You know, you've spent most of your summer up on the Bay of Green Bay, walleye and perch fishing.
Yep.
And on Winnebago. But this time of year, it's kind of nice. You know, we're in the fall, the leaves are falling like crazy, and it's definitely crappie time.
Nice
different.
break in the action. Got beautiful scenery, fishing timber. You know, nothing simpler than a jig and a minnow.
Hold that baby up right there.
That's fun.
Nice.
This light tackle. Isn't
Yeah,
it,
that
Larry?
is. You know, I'll tell you, anytime you can come out in the river this time of year and do some fishing, and there's something about crappies, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I think they're probably one of the prettiest panfish for sure, but they're so mysterious because, you know, and you know, you see a lot of fish like this time of year, like the smallmouth start coming out of the tributaries and coming into the main part of the river. So there's a lot of activity when you start talking about fall fishing. That's the great part I love about river fishing.
Oh, it's a giant one.
Holy shooks.
That's a giant
That
one.
is a giant crappie. You got a nut in here?
Yeah.
We do have a nut? I'm gonna grab him at least. Oh, that is, you got your nut? Whoa, not too often do you net a crappie. Holy magnitude, that'll definitely go back. Absolutely pushing probably 15 inches. That's a giant crappie. You know, and this is another thing. Not every crappie is gonna get to be that big. So no doubt the genetics in that fish is absolutely awesome. And these are the ones you wanna let go.
So
look at
wide.
the mouth on that. You could put a golf ball in the size of that mouth right there. You know, that's the cool thing too. You know, more than ever with social media, all the TV shows like we do, it's so important to definitely take care of the resource for sure. And by letting that fish go, that's a great genetics. You definitely want that fish to be able to spawn and make more of that for sure. But again, kind of going on to fall. Fall is such a great time of year to get out and do a little bit of fishing. And again, the rivers are a perfect place to do it. So hey, let's catch some more. Let's get that one back in the water. Another nice one, huh?
Nice one.
Is it a giant like the last one? Oh, that is a good one. Not quite as big, it's no 15-incher, but it's still a nice one. Again on that, oh my, bigger than I thought it was. I can't believe you're doing that good on a plain hook. Let's let's check out that rig you have. You got a swivel in there too to keep that line from twisting up. And why at that round bobber like that?
I don't know, I just like the little bit bigger bobber because it seems like the small ones you'll set the hook a little earlier, at least for me. That's a personal thing, but I use a little bit bigger bobber and usually it'll go off to the side one way or another, or if it's a big one like this one, it'll just sink the whole thing and then you know you got one.
Well, I think the key is too, you're using a little bit bigger bobber, but you also have a pretty heavy sinker on there.
Yeah,
to
that's
be able to get that bait down to where it needs to go, especially when you hit that current line in the river.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm using smaller minnows too, so I didn't want to get it down there, at least into the depth where the crappies are at. So.
There you go. Hey, all right. Nice one, huh? Gotta like that. Let's break it down a little bit. If you're looking at coming out and doing some fall crappie fishing, what you need is no doubt probably the most versatile rod is, of course, a 7-foot medium with a fast action tip. I liked it because we're fishing a lot of structure. I prefer going with 8-pound test line because so when you do get snagged up, and you're gonna get snagged for sure because that's right where them crappies are, is I like the 8-pound test because you can either pull the jig out straight or you're gonna break it off. And again, don't sit there and rile up that structure. The other part is make sure when you come out, have plenty of gulp. Get yourself some beaver tail, and we're using 2 different jigs today. We're using either a 16th ounce in the heavier current, in of course, a variety of different colors. And probably the most effective jig is the 32nd ounce right here. That is a great jig because it's super light, so when you get in that slack water, it's got a slower fall ratio. So I'm using the rocket bobbers. Sawyer's using more of the heavier bobbers, the round bobbers, when you're going with a heavier weight where you're a little bit more current. What else would you say?
Well, I was just gonna say this. I like using a hook. I don't know if you can see the ends, how this one's straight and this one's curved. It seems like this one won't get hung up as much as this one will, because it seems like when that minnow's going around or we set, this will like turn into the wood.
Okay.
When this will not. This is pulled straight. You can pull it out and it doesn't get hung up as much. This also kind of is bent almost down a little bit, and this one's bent more out. So this one right here is gonna get not hung up as much, where this one will. So
definitely a little bit, you know, make sure that you have plenty of different types of plastics. You know, again, when we're working these crappies and you hit some really good spots going upriver, obviously if you have that opportunity and there's nobody in them when you're coming downriver, to re-hit them again. Just by letting them spots sit for an hour, hour and a half, a lot of times them fish will reload in there and you'll catch more crappies.
Deep feet. Fish on.
Fish on.
Yeah, what we're looking for here, Larry, is staying in deep water. You know, we've got flooded timber in here, and 3 to 5 feet, I would say.
Okay.
And just looking for the flooded branches, flooded trees, trying to get your jig right down on the back side of it. You get on the front side, we're going to get a lot of snags, but
okay,
right on the back side of it seems to be where our best bite is.
Awesome. So I'll tell you what, you are definitely on fire back there, bud. Ooh, I got one too.
One little pot.
This might be a little, oh, I got a good one. You know what, I'm casting above you on that tree. You can see what we're doing. Get this one and flip that one in. You can kind of see what we're doing. You know, the big thing is too is, you know, we're using 7-foot rods and basically just casting up to that 4 or 5 foot. And really we're using these 1/32 ounce jigs and really kind of lifting and letting it fall back, lifting, letting it fall back. You don't want to disturb that structure. That's huge.
Shaking up them branches and fish are going.
Yeah, I hate it when you see a guy downriver from you and he's got a good spot and he's sitting there pulling back and forth on that branch. You know that's done. Right, you might as well leave and come back in an hour. Hey, my name ain't Mo, but it is Larry. Subscribe to our YouTube channel down below.